Welcome back to my channel today. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating stories in American numismatics, the story of the 1-cent 1972 coin that is worth millions of dollars. You might just have one lying around without even knowing its true value. So, sit tight, because this journey is going to blow your mind. The United States 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, might not seem like much at first glance. It's small, it's copper-colored, and it's typically worth, 1972 1 cent United States of America, well, just a cent. But over the years, certain pennies have become incredibly valuable. Some have been auctioned for hundreds of thousands, and even millions, of dollars. Let's explore why a coin originally worth 1 cent could be valued at over $23 million today, and what makes some of these coins so rare and desirable for collectors. Our story begins in 1972 with the first 1-cent coin ever issued by the United States Mint. This coin, known as, was significantly larger than today's penny. Its design reflected the ideals and aesthetics of the early republic, featuring symbols of liberty and freedom. The large cent was actually made from nearly pure copper, and its design was changed several times over the next few decades. Some of these early coins, like the 1972 flowing hair large cent, are extremely rare today. In fact, if you happen to come across one in mint condition, it could easily fetch over $500,000. In 1857, the U.S. Mint decided to reduce the size of the 1-cent coin, introducing what we now call this marked the start of the Flying Eagle series, followed by the well-loved Indian head penny. Then, in 1972, a significant milestone, the Mint released the first-ever Lincoln penny to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny remains one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. Now, the wheat penny, the original Lincoln penny design with two stalks of wheat on the reverse, is particularly prized by collectors today. And certain wheat pennies, like the famous 1972 copper penny, can be worth a. But why? During World War II, copper was in high demand for wartime manufacturing, so the U.S. Mint switched from copper to zinc-coated steel for the production of pennies in 1972. However, a small number of 1943 pennies were accidentally struck using the leftover copper planchets from the previous year. These error coins are incredibly rare, with only around 15 known to exist today. Because of this rarity, these 1943 copper pennies are among the most valuable 1-cent coins ever created. In fact, one sold at auction for a staggering $1.7 million in 2010, so, if you find a 1943 copper penny in your pocket change, you might want to get it checked by an expert. It could be worth more than you ever imagined. Another rare penny that collectors go crazy for is that this error happened when the die used to strike the penny shifted slightly, creating a noticeable doubling effect, especially on the words "liberty" and "in God we trust." This error coin is one of the most famous in U.S. coin history, and a well-preserved example can easily bring in over $100,000. It's not quite as rare as the 1972 copper penny, but its unique appearance and story make it highly desirable. In 1909, Victor David Brenner's initials, VDB, were included on the reverse of the penny. However, some felt the initials were too prominent, so the Mint quickly removed them. A limited number of 1909 pennies with both the S mintmark and VDB initials were produced, making these coins extremely rare. Today, the 1909 SVDB penny is a holy grail for collectors. If you have one in pristine condition, you could be looking at a value upwards of $100,000. Even in modern times, certain pennies have become valuable due to low mintage numbers, minting errors, or simply because they're in exceptionally good condition. Collectors pay top dollar for high-grade specimens, and these rare coins often go up for auction. In recent years, more and more collectors have been willing to spend millions for a 1-cent coin in near-perfect condition. The allure of owning a rare piece of history is just too tempting to pass up. You might wonder, why would anyone spend so much money on a penny? Well, it's all about rarity, condition, and historical significance. Each of these factors contributes to a coin's ultimate value. For instance, coins from limited mintage years or with unique errors are always more desirable. And if a coin has been well preserved, especially from an earlier era, its value skyrockets. Collectors view these coins as more than just currency, they're pieces of art and history. So, how can you tell if a penny in your pocket change might be worth a fortune? Here are some quick tips. Certain dates and mint marks, like the 1909 SVDB, the 1943 copper penny, and the 1955 double die, are key indicators. Doubling effects, off-center strikes, and planchet errors can make coins incredibly valuable. Coins in uncirculated or near-perfect condition are worth significantly more than heavily worn coins. And there you have it. The humble penny might seem insignificant, but in the world of numismatics, certain pennies are worth a fortune, some even millions. If you ever come across one of these rare coins, you could be holding on to a piece of American history with an extraordinary value. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our fascinating stories from the world of rare coins and collectibles. Who knows, you might just find a treasure in your own pocket. State of America. In today's video, we're going to dive deep into the mystery of the 1975 United States penny, its value, and the fascinating history behind it. Let's find out if your penny is worth much more than 1 cent. The US 1-cent coin, commonly called the penny, has a long and rich history. Originally inspired by British coinage, the penny was introduced by the US Mint in 1793. The coin has evolved significantly over the centuries, from the early large cents to today's modern design. Perhaps the most iconic penny design is the Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909 to commemorate President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. This was the first U.S. coin to feature a portrait, and it's been an American staple ever since. Today, the 1-cent coin is made mostly from zinc with a thin copper coating. But back in 1975, it was still made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which makes it a little more valuable as scrap metal than today's pennies. The 1975 Lincoln cent wasn't particularly unique in its design, as it continued the same pattern introduced in 1959, with Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But what could make this penny more than just a regular coin? With its 95% copper composition, the melt value of a 1975 penny can sometimes be slightly higher than 1 cent, especially when copper prices are high. But remember, melting down pennies for their metal value is illegal in the US. So, what's the actual value of a 1975 penny? Most 1975 pennies you find in circulation are worth about 1 cent, maybe a few cents more if they're in excellent condition. But, what if you have a rare or uncirculated version? In high-grade, uncirculated condition, a 1975 penny can fetch between 30 cents and $10, far more than face value, but certainly not $28 million. Let's talk about what makes some pennies worth much more than others. One of the primary ways a 1975 penny could be worth big money is if it's an error coin. Error coins occur when something goes wrong in the minting process, creating unique flaws that collectors highly value. Common errors include double die strikes, where the coin's design appears doubled, or off-center strikes, where the coin design is shifted. These errors are often rare, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for them. However, despite thorough searching, no famous or high-value errors for 1975 pennies have been reported, yet. So, if you happen to find a rare 1975 penny error, it could be worth a lot. Now, let's address the rumor: could a 1975 penny really be worth $28 million? This claim may have roots in exaggerated stories or myths circulating online. It's possible that people saw high auction prices for other rare pennies and assumed it applied to all pennies. Some extremely rare US pennies, like the 1943 copper penny, have sold for hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars because they're unique and extremely hard to find. But the 1975 penny, in most cases, does not have that kind of rare value. If anyone has a documented example of a 1975 penny valued this high, it hasn't been seen in any major auctions. If you think you have a valuable 1975 penny, here's what to check for: the better the condition, the higher the value. Look for a penny with no major scratches or wear. A shiny, uncirculated 1975 penny might be worth a few dollars. Check the coin carefully for any strange markings, doubling, or unusual shapes. If you spot anything that seems odd, consider taking it to a coin dealer. While most 1975 pennies are common, rare coins from certain mints or varieties could be more valuable. Look below the year for a D for Denver or S for San Francisco. A 1975 S proof in pristine condition could be worth a few dollars more. So, is your 1975 penny worth $28 million? Probably not. But it's always worth checking your change for interesting finds. While a standard 1975 penny will only fetch a few cents to a few dollars, who knows? You could be the first to discover a new error or variety that excites collectors. Whether you're a collector or just someone who finds the history of coins fascinating, checking out your change is always fun. And who knows? Maybe your next penny will be worth a fortune. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any of our coin collecting tips and history videos. Comment below with any unique coins you found, maybe we'll feature them in a future episode. Next 1 cent 2012 1 cent United States of America. Today, we're diving into the world of the United States 1 cent coin from 2012. Now, you may wonder, isn't this just a regular penny worth a penny? But, as we'll discover today, sometimes the smallest pieces of change hold big surprises. From its rich history to the unique features that could make it worth a small fortune, let's explore how a simple penny could be worth thousands, maybe even millions, to the right collector. Before we dive into the specifics of the 2012 penny, let's rewind a bit to understand how the US penny has evolved over time. The US Mint first issued a 1 cent coin in 1793, which looked quite different from today's Lincoln penny. Over the years, the design has changed, reflecting the nation's history and values. The Lincoln penny we know today was first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Since then, it's been a symbol of American history, featuring Lincoln's profile on the front and evolving designs on the back, from the classic wheat design to the Lincoln Memorial. And in 2010, the Mint introduced the shield design we see on pennies today. The 2012 penny isn't just any penny. While it doesn't hold any obvious design differences, this coin is a unique product of its time. In 2012, the US was recovering from the financial crisis, and the Mint was paying close attention to production costs. Believe it or not, it cost more than 1 cent to produce a penny. Yes, even though it was only worth a penny in face value, the materials and production added up to about 2 cents. That means every penny produced in 2012 actually cost the US government money. But what if we told you that some 2012 pennies could be worth way more than their face value? Here's why. Alright, so what makes a 2012 penny worth more than a penny? Let's break down the factors that can give any coin a surprising value boost. First, there's the condition of the coin. Coins in mint condition, or those that have never been circulated, can fetch higher prices. A pristine 2012 penny, especially if graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, could be worth significantly more to collectors. We're talking about pennies that look like they just rolled off the mint's production line. Second, mint marks are essential. In 2012, the US Mint produced pennies at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with Philadelphia coins typically having no mint mark and Denver coins bearing a small d. While both types were produced in large numbers, certain coins from one mint may be more desirable depending on the collector's preferences or scarcity of high-grade examples. One of the biggest factors driving up a penny's value is an error. Errors happen during the minting process, and they're basically happy accidents for collectors. There are a few known types of errors that you should keep an eye out for on 2012 pennies. Look closely at the lettering and date on your penny. If you see any doubling, especially around the word liberty or in God we trust, you might have a double die error. Some rare double die errors have been known to sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. If your penny looks like it's been misaligned or has part of the design cut off, it could be an off-center strike. Depending on how off-center it is, these errors can be quite valuable. Sometimes the die used to stamp the penny cracks, leaving raised lines or cuds on the coin's surface. These can make a 2012 penny stand out and increase its value. So, if you have a 2012 penny lying around, it's definitely worth a quick check for any unusual markings or errors. Now, let's get to the exciting part, the big money. In recent years, collectors have paid thousands of dollars for rare, error-filled, or exceptionally well-preserved modern pennies. While not every 2012 penny will bring you a fortune, there have been some incredible sales in recent years for coins that seemed ordinary at first. For example, high-grade 2012 pennies with pristine MS 67 or higher ratings have fetched hundreds of dollars at auctions. And an error penny, especially one with a dramatic mistake, can sell for even more. These auctions prove that there's a demand for unique coins, even if they're as recent as 2012. So, you've got a 2012 penny and want to see if it's worth more than 1 cent. Here's what you need to do. First, examine it closely with a magnifying glass, especially the date, mint mark, and any areas where errors might be. Next, compare it to online resources or coin guides to see if it matches known valuable errors. And finally, consider getting it professionally graded if you think it's in pristine condition or has an error. So there you have it, the story of the 2012 US penny and why even the smallest coins can hold big surprises. Keep an eye out for those error pennies, look for unique features, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find a penny that's worth way more than 1 cent. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more coin collecting insights, and let us know in the comments if you've ever found a valuable coin. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting. Next 1 cent United States of America. 2013 Today, we're diving into one of the smallest yet most fascinating coins in American history, the humble 2013 1 cent penny. But don't be fooled by its modest appearance, there's more than meets the eye with this coin, and some unique examples are worth far more than just a cent. We're going to cover everything you need to know, its history, what makes it valuable, and how some rare finds are worth thousands of dollars, so stick around. The United States penny has a long, rich history. The very first penny was minted back in 1793, and it's been through quite a journey in design, materials, and even its value in today's money. Today, the penny features the famous Lincoln design, which has been used since 1909, marking Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The reverse side of the penny has seen different designs over the years, too. In 2010, the Mint introduced the Union Shield design on the back, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the United States as one unified nation. By 2013, this was still the design we saw on the back of our pennies, and it remains that way today. But what makes the 2013 penny so special? Let's find out. First, let's talk a bit about the composition of the 2013 penny. By this time, pennies were primarily made of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper, which is a huge change from earlier pennies that were mostly copper. This shift happened in 1982 due to the rising cost of copper. In 2013, the pennies were minted in 2 main locations, Philadelphia and Denver. If you have a 2013 penny, you can look closely to find a small letter on it, either a D for Denver or no mint mark for Philadelphia. Knowing where a coin was minted can sometimes help collectors determine its value, but that's just the beginning. Now, let's talk about value. The face value of a penny is, of course, just 1 cent. However, in the world of coin collecting, some pennies are worth way more. While a typical 2013 penny in circulated condition won't be worth more than a penny, rare, high-grade, or error coins can fetch a premium. For example, pennies that are graded MS 67 or MS 68 by coin grading services like PCGS or NGC can be worth significantly more. In this condition, even a 2013 penny can bring in hundreds of dollars. Collectors love these high-grade coins because they're extremely rare in circulation, they're practically perfect. But here's where things get really exciting: error coins. Coin errors happen during the minting process, and they create unique and valuable variations. Some of the errors you might find on a 2013 penny include things like a double die error, where the image or text looks doubled, or an off-center strike where the design is misaligned. A 2013 double die penny can bring in big money, sometimes hundreds of dollars, even for a common coin like this. Some other errors to look out for are die cracks, which can leave raised lines across the coin, or coins struck on foreign planchets, which are blanks not meant for US pennies. Finding these rare error coins can really pay off. So, what's the highest price ever paid for a 2013 penny? Believe it or not, the rarest 2013 pennies, like an error coin in perfect uncirculated condition, have been known to sell for up to $500 or more. That's right, people will pay big money for unique examples, especially if the coin is graded in top condition. For example, a 2013 D penny in MS-68 condition sold for a surprising price in recent auctions, making it a sought-after find for collectors. So, how can you find one of these valuable pennies? Here are some tips. First, check your change. Look closely at any 2013 pennies for errors like doubling on the text or unusual markings. A good magnifying glass or coin loupe will help you see these tiny details. Next, consider getting your coin graded if you think it's in top condition. A coin grading service can verify its quality and rarity, which can increase its value to collectors. Also, look out for coins with luster and no visible wear. These are more likely to be valuable to collectors. As we wrap up, let's think about the future of the penny. With talks about potentially discontinuing the penny due to its low purchasing power and high production cost, who knows? The 2013 penny might just become a valuable collectible in the future for this reason alone. Imagine in a few decades, owning a perfect condition 2013 penny could be like holding a piece of history that no longer circulates. Thanks for tuning in. Now that you know all about the hidden value of the 2013 penny, go check your spare change. You never know, you might be holding a coin worth big money. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more exciting coin videos. And don't forget to let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare penny or if you're a collector yourself. We'd love to hear your stories. Next, 1983 D1 cent today, we're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting. Specifically, we're going to take a closer look at one particular coin that could be lurking in your pocket change, the 1983 D Lincoln cent. You might have heard some stories about this penny being worth big money, so let's break down the history, unique errors, and why some of these pennies are valued as high as $44 million in collectors' circles. The Lincoln cent, first minted in 1909, has been one of the most popular and enduring coins in American history. Over the years, this humble penny has seen a few design changes and even some composition changes. For instance, the coins minted from 1909 to 1942 were made primarily of copper, while those minted during World War II, in 1943, were made of zinc-coated steel to conserve copper for the war effort. Fast forward to 1982, and we see another major shift. Due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint made the decision to switch from copper to a cheaper copper-plated zinc composition. From then on, pennies were no longer made of 95% copper, but instead 97.5% zinc with just a thin layer of copper on the surface. So, what makes the 1983 D penny so interesting? Well, for starters, 1983 was only the second year the mint produced pennies with a primarily zinc composition. But here's where it gets fascinating. A rare error occurred during the minting process at the Denver Mint in 1983, where a very limited number of pennies were accidentally struck on the old copper planchets, instead of the new zinc ones. A copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams, whereas the zinc pennies weigh around 2.5 grams. This tiny difference in weight makes it possible to detect if you've got one of these rare 1983 D copper pennies simply by weighing it. In fact, collectors use digital scales to quickly spot any penny weighing over 3 grams. Now, let's get to the million-dollar question, literally. Why is this penny worth so much? Well, as you might know, rarity is one of the biggest factors that drives value in coin collecting. Since there were very few 1983 pennies minted on copper planchets, finding one is like hitting the jackpot. There's a huge demand among collectors who want these rare errors, which has driven the value through the roof. In recent years, some 1983 copper pennies have fetched thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars at auction. The excitement around these coins also fuels speculation that an immaculate or uncirculated 1983 copper penny could bring in much more, and with rumors of valuations up to $44 million, collectors are keeping their eyes peeled. Alright, so you're probably wondering, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable 1983 copper pennies? It's simpler than you might think. Here's a quick step-by-step guide for identifying a potential treasure. Look at the date and mint mark. You're looking specifically for a penny minted in 1983 with a D mint mark, which means it was produced in Denver. Check the weight. A regular 1983 zinc penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If your penny weighs closer to 3.11 grams, then there's a chance it was struck on a copper planchet. If you have a penny that seems promising, consider getting it authenticated and graded by a professional service like the PCGS. They can confirm whether your penny is truly an error coin, and they'll also give it an official grade, which can significantly increase its value at auction. Even if you don't find a copper 1983 penny, there are other valuable error pennies from the same year that are worth keeping an eye out for. For example, some 1983 pennies have doubling errors on the reverse, which collectors call double die pennies. These errors can cause certain features, like the words 1 cent or e pluribus unum, to appear doubled, giving them a unique look and making them highly collectible. In fact, a 1983 double die reverse penny in high-grade condition can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So even if you're not finding copper pennies, it's always worth inspecting your 1983 pennies closely for any other unique features. Now, let's address the big question on everyone's mind: is there really a $44 million penny? While there's no confirmed sale at that value, the rumor of a $44 million 1983 penny has its roots in a combination of high valuations and hopeful speculation among collectors. If a flawless copper 1983 penny ever surfaced in uncirculated condition, who knows? It might just bring in an astronomical bid from an eager collector. Ultimately, the value of any rare coin is set by what someone is willing to pay. While $44 million may seem a bit high, it highlights just how valuable these rare pennies can be to the right buyer. Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey into the world of rare coins. Who would have thought that a little penny from 1983 could hold so much value? Whether you're a casual collector or a dedicated numismatist, it's always worth checking your pocket change. Who knows, you might just strike gold with copper. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and let us know in the comments if you found any rare pennies. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Next, 1997 1 cent. Today, we're exploring a very specific and unique piece of US currency, the 1997 1 cent coin, minted in Denver. This coin may look like a regular penny to most, but as we'll soon find out, there's a lot more than meets the eye. Let's start with a bit of background. The US 1 cent coin, commonly known as the penny, has a rich and interesting history that dates back to the late 1700s. The design and material of the penny have changed over the centuries, reflecting different eras in American history. The 1 cent coin we're most familiar with today features Abraham Lincoln, who first appeared on the coin in 1909 to commemorate his 100th birthday. The Lincoln cent has gone through several design and material changes. Early pennies were made of pure copper, but during World War II, there was even a zinc-coated steel penny due to the copper shortage. Since then, the penny has been made primarily of copper and zinc, with only a thin copper coating over a zinc core. So, why all the buzz around the 1997 1 cent coin? Most pennies minted in 1997 were pretty ordinary, but there are a few exceptional coins that collectors believe have high potential value. First, let's talk about the mint mark. The D on the coin stands for Denver, meaning this penny was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the 4 mints currently operating in the United States. While billions of these pennies were minted, there's one thing that makes some of these coins stand out: certain errors and anomalies that collectors go crazy for. Error coins can fetch high prices if they're rare enough. And yes, there are some 1997 D pennies with unique characteristics that have made them very valuable. Now let's dive into some specific types of errors that make these 1997 D pennies valuable. Error coins are typically produced due to misprints, double die strikes, or other unusual issues during the minting process. One type of error to look out for on the 1997 D penny is the double die error, where part of the coin appears doubled. If you spot any doubling on Lincoln's profile or on the letters, especially in the word Liberty, that's a big deal. Double die pennies are rare, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them. Another error type is the off-center strike, where the image on the coin is misaligned. Some of these coins may be slightly off, while others might have an image that's only partially struck on the surface. And then we have die cracks or die clashes, where the metal from the minting die leaves unique lines or marks on the coin. These errors can appear in random places on the coin, and if noticeable, can attract collectors who love to find these little quirks. Alright, now for the big question: how much is the 1997 D penny actually worth? While a standard 1997 D penny is worth its face value of 1 cent, certain error pennies can bring in a lot more. For instance, a 1997 D penny with a significant double die error or a major off-center strike could sell for anywhere from $10 to over $100, depending on the severity and visibility of the error. But the real treasure is in pristine, uncirculated coins. In perfect, mint state condition, a 1997 D penny without errors might fetch $50 to $100 from collectors who want high-grade examples for their collections. In fact, the record sale for a 1997 D penny in high grade is around $1,000, which is amazing for a coin originally worth just 1 cent. Coins with multiple, unique errors can even go beyond that, especially if they're certified by professional grading services. Now you might be wondering, could I have a valuable 1997 D penny sitting in my change jar right now? Well, there's an easy way to check. Grab a magnifying glass and take a close look at your coin. Focus on Lincoln's profile, the date, the mint mark, and the lettering. Look for any signs of doubling, misalignments, or unusual markings. If you think you have an error coin, it might be worth having it evaluated by a coin grading service. Professional graders can authenticate the coin, confirm any errors, and give it an official grade, which can increase its value to potential buyers. The penny's future is a topic of debate, with many wondering if the U.S. Mint will eventually stop producing 1-cent coins. Pennies have become expensive to produce, costing more than 1 cent to make each one, due to the price of copper and zinc. But, as long as pennies remain in circulation, coins like the 1997 D with unique features will continue to captivate collectors. To sum up, while most 1997 D pennies are worth just a penny, there are hidden gems out there. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, keep your eyes peeled for those rare error coins and pristine mint state pennies that could be worth quite a bit more. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed learning about the 1997 D penny and want more coin collecting tips, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.